Hello, hello. How are you all? How are you doing? That's the question of the day. I just got off of a writing session, a co-writing session, and had to flip the camera and come in here today. But I'm glad that I see quite a few people here already. Good to see you, Catherine, Mohammed. Greetings to you. Hello, Kim Eminem. Good to see you again. Kim S., how's it going? Good morning to you. And let's see, Dr. Donna, glad to be here with you. Good day to you. And Marva Van Dyke, good to see you here again. Good morning, Kathy. Good morning, everyone. Blessings and peace to all. And we need all the best blessings and peace we can get. I'm telling you, if you don't have it, find your peace. Good day to you, Sabani. Good to see you here. Good to have everybody here. I'm Kathy Hampton of Wellness and Healing Practices for Women 50 and over, particularly Black women who experience a different kind of stress than any other woman there is. And we'll take that as being uh, not having the stress, but being called out because we're resilient, right? And we are trailblazers for ourselves and uh, and for others. So I'm glad to have you here today. I also am a wellness coach, a transformational life coach, and also facilitator of wellness practices, meditation, yoga, um, journaling, and massage therapy are some of the practices that I facilitate and have learned about, um, and other body work also. So that's a little bit about me, and I hold a community space open for anyone who's interested in being inspired to into creating a life that they want, getting unstuck, or if you're unstuck already, keeping you moving forward towards your dreams and your goals. That's what we do together here is hold each other up and acknowledge our practice uh, for wellness, whether that be journaling, prayer, meditation, chanting, walking in nature, or uh, being seated in nature, acknowledging ourselves, gaining clarity, and affirming ourselves. That's what we do here. It's a lot, but we pack it in pretty well during our today an hour worth at least. Um, last session was short because I had quite a bit to do. And I'm finding myself, and I'll ask this question of you. You guys fill your days up with stuff, or do you just take it easy? Especially those who are retired. What do you do? I mean, I'm new to this kind of pre retirement age, and I always said that I would probably, when I stopped working, like traditional work, getting up and going to 9 to 5 work, that I would just kind of find something I would want to do and create for myself. And that's the pattern or plan that I've been on. And because I'm so accustomed to that 9 to 5 um, work schedule since, I was young, very young, I started working, um, that I would do something different, but I'm finding myself filling up the days as if I'm going to work. And I don't know if that's supposed to be or if that is okay to be that way or it's just what I do. What do you do? Do you fill your day up? Or do you take it easy? Do you rest? I think I do a combination. People always ask me, "Do you take naps?" And I said, "Yeah, I do." So I'm breaking it up, breaking the days up. Like I woke up at 5:30 today, and after sleeping pretty well, I will say, um, and I got straight to the business of, you know, kind of cleaning up after myself, and but then getting straight to the business of my writing, because I'm writing for to be published, and I have a deadline for a feedback session. So I'm trying to get this in so that people can read it before I get the feedback, and then I'm here with you, and then after that I'm gonna go back to my writing. Then after that I have to, there are housekeeping things I need to do. Need to, just take care of business. But then I'm gonna be doing some other things that I have created for myself. So I just wonder, then I met some people who are retired and they're very busy. We aren't just kind of like retiring. We are doing things and moving about. It's all good stuff. But sometimes I wonder how much of us are recuperating or resting. So just a question that I have for you, and maybe you know you'll want to think about that and share or not about what you are doing in your either pre-retirement, retirement, or maybe this is customary for people. I'm still getting used to it. Um, that's all I'll say about that. So just want to check in with you. How are you doing today? Um, how's it going for you? Are you feeling good? Are you feeling content, peaceful, calm, sunny? Keep getting a mix of weather here. So if you have a word for your mood, your emotions, your state of being, right? What is that today? Today, I'm going to say I'm content. I'm hopeful. I'm feeling rested. Um, yeah, all of those things. That has to do with, I believe, that I got rest. I was in good company um, yesterday afternoon, after in the evening. I was in good company. That makes a difference. Who you surround yourself with, how you feel when you are around people that you feel comfortable with and good about, right? Yeah, yeah. So let's see. Marva says, some days are full, some days I relax, just started taking naps, or maybe a mixture of both. All right. Thank you. It sounds kind of like me. Thank you, Marva, for sharing that. I appreciate that. Yeah, so yeah, it's just a mixture of things. You try to get yourself, not I'm not doing like a grind. And I think that's the important part of it. I'm not grinding, meaning feeling pressure to produce, right? I'm not feeling that pressure to produce anything for someone. I'm not even feeling pressure to produce for myself, because there's this flow that I'm trying to get into. What I'm experiencing is that I'm liking what I'm liking what I'm producing, right? So there's no real grind. I'm using different parts of my mind, and it's not like a hustle, right? It's not a hustle. Um, yeah. So yeah, it feels good. It doesn't feel heavy, right? Doesn't make We sometimes feel where our emotions are and if they're, you know, like if you I feel when I feel good, I feel light. my body feels light. And that's how I've been feeling a lot since I've transitioned into this new lifestyle. When I was in my old lifestyle, my chest would ache. It felt heavy. It felt constricted, right? And that's, a lot of inflammation and tightness. My muscles felt tight. My stomach sometimes would hurt, right? Felt that pain. Yeah. Catherine says she woke up to see and feel the sunshine. Awesome. Awesome. My retirement is time for the activities I enjoy. I relax quite a bit. Amen for you. Hallelujah. I love it. I do a happy dance. And I like all the stuff that Catherine does for herself. It makes me smile when I think about um, what she has going on. It's really cool. Um, and I've met some people here who are doing volunteer work also. Um, I know I say that because Catherine does some volunteer work, and the volunteer work that they're doing is helping them with meeting new people in a new culture, but they're also doing stuff that has to do with food, providing food to others. But they're lifting crates. They're using their bodies in a way that they don't have to necessarily go to a gym to get the exercise. They're walking a lot because of um, the proximity for things, and people are spending more time. It's very walkable here. There's lots of transportation modes also, but there's lots of walking that's done, and people just walk. Just you get out and you walk to the place that you want to go, and before you know it, you're there. Even if it is up a hill, you're getting instead of getting on the treadmill, right, and lifting up the what is it called, the elevation or whatever on the treadmill. You can do that naturally here and get a good workout. So it's just it's really been good to meet people who share what they're doing in this stage in life. It's amazing, and it makes you feel young still, right? It makes you feel like there's time for me to enjoy. I'm letting myself enjoy these things, um, and these years and this time, these moments, these minutes, right? Hours, right? These days. So it's really good. Sabani says it's easy for work to take over our time. I calendar time to rest, relax, and enjoy. Good, and that is that is so important that you put aside the time that you need to do the things that you enjoy. And as a working person, I did some of that, but not enough of that. Not enough of that. Not enough rest until I would say my mid 50s or late 50s when I decided, you know what, let me go up here and take a nap. Let me take a nap, or let me just lay here in bed on a Saturday, right? Instead of getting up and doing housework. Let me just lay right here, or let me do something else. So, and then I'll share that, in those last years of the 50 decade, um, I ended up, or even a little before, I was trying to figure out what I would do for my retirement before I was retired. I was thinking about what do I want to do, because I was trying to figure out if I could change my lifestyle sooner, like in my 40s, right? But if I couldn't do that, I wanted to learn some things that I could carry into my into my later years, retirement years. Whenever I decided I was retire, I decided I would do that. And, the only thing that seemed to stop me from pulling that trigger, to be honest, was actually fearing or doubting my financial readiness to do that. And from time to time, I would say, well, it's going to be on this date and this date and this, and it kept on going. And then I realized I can create something for myself so that I can be ready for it, because the line kept on getting further and further away from what I wanted to do for my life. So so I had to create it. And that's what we have to do. We have to create, we have to set aside time, we have to do the work to get to the place that we want to be. So um hello, good morning, Pie Management. Good to see you here. You're not tardy, you were right on time. Everywhere we are, whatever time we get there is the right time. So thank you just for coming and allowing yourself to participate. I think that's great. Thank you, Pie Management. So let's get to it. So if we have checked in with ourselves, we know how we are feeling, why we're feeling the way we're feeling content, we're feeling hopeful, maybe optimistic, maybe we're feeling a little bit anxious, maybe we're feeling a little cloudy, right? A little hazy, can't see things clearly. Maybe we're feeling some doubt, maybe some fear. Let it happen. Let it go. Let it go. Hang on to it, but then surrender, right? Surrender to it, or move it aside, or do what you can do with it. Do whatever you can to to feel it, to understand it, and not consume you. Just as we can't allow, this these happy feelings to overtake us, right? And not be so serious. We can't allow all the giddiness uh, take over, because it feels good, but maybe a little dangerous sometimes to be so giddy and not so so reasonable in our thinking. So yeah, yeah. Can be like it needs to be harmonious, not a balance, because nothing's too balanced, but harmonious, a ebb and flow, a movement, right? A movement, yeah. And yeah, let it come, let it go. So it's so good to be here with you. Let's get ready to calm ourselves and prepare, ground ourselves for our practice, whether that be journaling, whether that be chanting, if you chant, pray, meditate, if you are walking with ear pods on, coming and going, experiencing the world while still listening, or yeah, whatever it may be. Let's get ready to do that. Let's close our eyes, getting comfortable in our seats. You're lying in bed, lying there and lowering your head away from the pillow, but flat on the ground. Or if you have a mat, a yoga mat, lying in corpse pose, savasana. All right. You can place your hands on your chest to feel the ebb and flow of your chest, your breath, your lungs, expanding the diaphragm, opening up like a balloon and then deflating when you exhale. That's what we'll be doing. We'll be breathing through the nose, our nostrils, and then exhaling through the mouth. Let's get accustomed to our natural breathing pattern, though, before we start that. With your shoulders down, not raised up to your ears, relaxing. Just feel the chest rise. Feeling life that's in you this moment. Being grateful for that movement. Isn't it great that you can feel the movement in your body coming from you? Isn't that something? Your natural breath, take a just a even deeper breath. See how far you can expand the lungs, right? It's almost like a wave. And now we'll be taking 3 breaths, inhaling deeply through our nose and exhaling through our mouth with a sigh or a moan. And there's our first breath right now, inhaling through the nose. Squeezing all the air out through the mouth. One more time, inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the mouth. One more time, inhaling through the nose. And that should be our last of the cleansing breaths. You may wonder what you're cleansing, right? The cleansing breaths are to clear our vagus nervous system with the wash of our breath, kind of massaging the nervous system that brings us a calmness, right? This can be done anytime you're feeling a little anxiety or a lot of anxiety. Just taking a breath and it washes the nervous system from behind our head down to our throat and beyond, actually. And it recycles the clean air that we have, you know, clears the air, the negative air that we hold on to, allows us to force it out while cleansing our nervous system, the vagus nervous system, VAGUS. This time I offer and invite you to speak or whisper gratitude. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I invite you to set a intention for this moment, this practice. Slowly, gently opening your eyes or raising your gaze or sitting up if you so choose to continue our practice of journaling, meditation, continued meditation, um, even prayer or yoga, body movement during these next 15 minutes that we're going to put on the clock. Okay. Let's share what Sabani has to say. I'm feeling a bit conflicted inside. I had to exercise my boundaries with someone I care about. Keeping the boundary was good for me, but difficult for the other person. I'm protecting my peace. Very good, Sabani. I'm glad you're practicing. Thank you for sharing that. I was going to speak about boundaries in a different context, but yeah, this is this is a hard practice. Protecting our boundaries can be difficult, right? Yeah, it's not like you want to build a wall with someone. You just need to protect yourself, right? You need to protect yourself. And sometimes it's difficult, especially if it's with people you love or you care about. But it's also very freeing to establish a practice and to maintain it. It takes a while to get comfortable with setting boundaries and practicing them. Sometimes we totally forget because we've lived in the same pattern of neglecting our boundaries. I really appreciate you for sharing that, Shabani. Good morning, Crazy Horse's daughter. Great to see you here and spending time with us. We're just about to set the timer for our practice of journaling or whatever practice that you choose. We'll spend 15 minutes in that practice. If you can get comfortable and get so that you can get started. And yeah, let's let's set our timer. And this is the Koshi chimes again, and very melodic. Yeah, there's a melody to them. Various melodies all at once. Um, we'll get started. And where's my journal? And I'm gonna get my journal somewhere. It's here. Yeah. That I choose to write in today. If you don't have a journal, you have a pad of paper, whatever is comfortable for you. All right. And so we're going to begin with our 15 minutes um, of our practice. Okay. Okay, that was our 15-minute chime. Come to the 15 minutes of our practices. Um, I, if you are not finished with what you were doing, please continue, and I'll be putting you. You can put me. You can put me in the background um, as I move forward. I hope that you have had a good 15-minute session of whatever you were doing, including journaling. I actually did pretty well in my journaling. Actually, was thinking about the um, this week, which has gone by very fast. Actually, I don't know about you, but it has been going pretty quickly this week. Time, time that is. Want to say hello to Abba, our sister Abba. Great to have you back here with us. Good day to you. Glad that you're here live today. I appreciate you. And Elle, hello. Good grand rising lovelies. I hope, wish, and pray all are doing well. And the same for you, Elle. Thank you for stopping by. Good, always good to see people that I know and recognize. Haven't necessarily met in person yet, but that too will come, I'm sure. But great to have you here, and hope that your practices went well, whatever they were. And the reason I extend, I know this is the title of Journal with Me, but what I realized is that not everyone finds benefits or have not mastered what I call mastered or feel comfortable every day writing morning pages or what comes up for them as they write in free flow mode. It may take something else. It may be a different practice, a different ritual that sits well with us individually. And um, I understand that. Uh, I am actually am writing. Many of you may know I'm writing a memoir, which has taken a while to do, and it all stemmed from me writing in a journal this story, these thoughts, these memories, and it was free flowing where everything came out of me. And I look back at those and I was like, wow, I was really talking about that. I was really thinking that was on my mind and it came out. What didn't come out orally, it came through me writing. And I'm blessed to be able to write. And not everybody can has the patience to write. Some of us are uncomfortable writing. That is not the case for me. And so and what I do know is that there are different ways in which we heal, and that doesn't mean that we heal only through journaling. And so I opened it up for meditation, open up to people chanting or prayer, whether they're and those could be faith related practices that people find um, inspiration, power, empowerment, and calm, which we need. We need peace and calm in our lives. So I want you to realize that those tools, those practices are open to you, even in this community where we also journal. So what came up for me was how time has been flying during this week, and what I accomplished this week, um, and I'm getting to know myself really quickly. When I say that, what my emotions about certain things, really about certain things that I don't like, um, because a lot of times we put in the back of our mind things that we don't like because those things may be something that are socially acceptable and that we have to do. Um, but I have this disdain, I realize, when it comes to um, uh, filing certain papers or, you know, documents or bureaucracy. And I've had to do this for the last, I don't know. Um, and actually, it is actually, I've been doing this for this past year. A lot of forms, a lot of documents, a lot of collecting, a lot of organizing of papers, a lot of, and I really do not like it. But what I will say, and I actually decided that I feel good about doing, is doing that, moving through it, something that I don't care for. You know, we all have to do some things that we don't like. And this past couple weeks, more than that, couple weeks, I've had to like gather documentation, sift through it, mark things up, make sure it was in order. And this is all to help me in the long run. But um, it's just that those tasks that we don't like to do. There's some people who don't like to wash lawn, you know, wash clothes or take the garbage out, you know, but these things do help us, right? So I've had to move through some things that I just do not like doing. And it's, I think, stems from the fact that I've had to do it for so long. many of us are parents of children where we had to fill out forms for them for the school districts, for the schools, or for their classes. There are notes that we had to sign. There are all kinds of things. We had to do all of that along with doing all the stuff for ourselves. All these tasks that seemed like been we were bombarded by, but we had to do for our betterment in society. And I know having two, I actually raised on and off three children, two biological and one my my niece, and even doctor's appointments, filling out forms, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, I think about those days, and if you think about those days, how much stuff you had to share with others. So that was I'm celebrating that I accomplished something in spite of having horrible feelings about doing it. I did it anyway because I had to. So, but when you know yourself, and I kind of laugh at myself. I did it even though I didn't want to, and I know what triggers certain emotions. I know what makes me feel a certain way, and I think that's the beauty in it all. Is that I know why I hesitate, why I procrastinate. I just don't like certain things, and so and that makes me human. So if you feel that way, I understand you. I really do. So that's what came up for me in my writing today. But I also want to remind you that it is Affirmation Thursday, where we create, if you haven't already, an affirmation for yourself. If it's something that you've already stated and that's your constant theme about yourself, a powerful positive statement that is about you. If that is, I invite you to write it down, say it out loud, whisper it, um, and yeah, celebrate yourself today, but also tomorrow and always throughout the day. Um, yeah, affirm yourself. And I will say that I am very clear and feel very good about recognizing um, my uh, likes and dislikes that make me feel more human, and more at peace with myself. So that's my affirmation, um, and not judging myself, thinking that there's something wrong with me for feeling a certain way. Um, yeah. Um, this past week, I also felt empowered by speaking up about uh, something that a feeling that I got when entering a room that I didn't immediately. It was an immediate reaction, um, but I spoke up about it and without guilt or shame about it. Um, and I didn't feel comfortable in this room. It brought back really bad memories of my uh, my neighborhood where I lived, but also my workplace. It just brought back horrible memories. And so, and I actually felt good because I could sit in the room because I knew that I was safe within myself, but I did not like being in the room. And and I managed perfectly well. I was initially very anxious, but I kept my head about me and kept it moving. And so I was very happy afterwards about speaking about it and sharing, whether it was a weakness of mine, whatever it was, so that I recognized how I felt, why I felt that way, how I was going to manage myself. And I believe that is what you call resilience. That was immediate resilience. And I'm pleased with that. So, how can you affirm yourself? How can you affirm yourself today? I just want to take a break and say if you're watching this Journal with Me session in our virtual community for the first time, for those in the future, for those who come and see this on replay, thank you for watching. And if this is something that you like, please like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell because we meet here on a regular basis. There's a pattern of Tuesday and Thursday, most Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I just want to put that out there because I'd like you to share with us in live on live stream when you can. You can engage in the comments, and I will also respond to your comments um, after if you're watching this on the replay. So I have a couple questions for you from my Ask book. You know, life coaches ask questions, and I found this Ask book. It's a journal called Ask, and it goes daily and then weekly. But I came up with some weekly questions in the book that I think I'll ask to you, and you can answer them or make note of them, or whatever you'd like to do with this. I invite you to engage if you so like to in the comments. And the first question is, what were this week's best moments? What are the best moments for you this week? What are you proud to have accomplished? Reflect on what you enjoyed the most. Yeah. So, yeah, I'll read that again. What were this week's best moments? What are you proud to have accomplished? And and then reflect on what you enjoyed the most. What did you enjoy the most? And this is somewhat, having to do with our affirmations, right? Yeah. What are you proud of? Um, and what are you proud to have accomplished this week? I will say that I accomplished, yeah, it was tax time, so I accomplished filling out those forms and looking back over documents and finishing it up, even though I didn't want to. But I'm also proud of the fact that the week's best moments, um, yeah, I move around. I moved around and through my feelings when I didn't want to do something. So that was that. Those were my accomplishments. The next question: what did you learn this week? What inspired you? People, activities, books, podcasts. Reflect on how you are growing and expanding. Yeah, how are you growing and expanding? I think that is a really great question for a seasoned spicy woman at 50 and over. You know, they say that we aren't supposed to. We have finished growing. No, that is not the case. We are still growing and learning so much about ourselves, but other people, activities, books, podcasts. Learn a lot lately. I picked up some books last week, and I'm going through them. I started reading um, uh, a book called Butter. It is a mystery. It's a Japanese author, and also um, The Artist's Way, which I was referred to, I believe, by Kim Eminem was the first person who talked about that, and then I got that book, and learning through different authors of different cultures, as well as enhancing my ability to coach others and help others create lives that they want. And so that's what I learned through the books that I got. What is it that you um, have done to continue your growth and expansion? Um, I'm also expanding my openness to meet other people, to talk with other people, just opening up to determine, you know, we also always have to determine whether or not just because you meet somebody doesn't mean that you're going to automatically befriend them, and that there's a time and place for continued growth and acknowledgement of someone you meet who is new. And so I'm not closed on that. And I think it's really important to hear people's different perspectives, and get to know other people's kind of quirks or whatever. But also at the same time, having the knowledge that, maybe this person doesn't fit into my life, or you know long a long or expanded time for a time. It could only take 5 minutes. um I'm gonna say, yeah, last week I was on a walk and saw these beautiful dogs. They were different type of, well, their coloring was different, their coat was different. It was um, a merle, not a brindle, but a merle, and it was so beautiful. One was gray with black, dark black merle, and then the other one was black with a gray merle. It was very odd French bulldogs, and people are drawn more to the animals, the dogs, than their humans, and that was the case. And the guy, the owner of them, totally ignored until we looked up. I was with another person, and I looked up, and there was a very handsome man holding on to these dogs, and he started talking, and he seemed to be he spoke very good English, but I believe he was really full of himself. And I said, "Oh, I'll be so happy to see your dogs." But I was thinking to myself, "Yeah, I would rather see the dogs and not him." It was nice talking with him. He had a great perspective on things, and I took him in. But then he just kind of was full of himself. And I think he, The dogs help enhance him. So, um, so I'm growing and expanding, and not, looking at people's dogs and saying, "Yeah, the dogs are really helping somebody else be social." Really, is what I took from that. Um, oh, so we've got some engagement here. This is good. Um, okay, Catherine. Catherine says, my volunteer time supports my need to be in nature and surrounded by positive, nurturing people. It is a great way to start my week. Very good. Yes, Catherine. And I'll share Catherine. Catherine does some really interesting volunteer work. She I'm gonna say she's kind of a horse whisperer. Catherine makes the horses feel good so that they can do their job. So she helps them relieve, their stress so that they can help those in need of support, right? So she does some really good work. And then she meets good people. She's out in nature, and it's very positive all around. Yeah, she talks to horses. Yeah, on a weekly basis, right? Catherine, do you do that more than once a week? I'm not sure. I think you, I'm not sure. Crazy Horse's daughter says, I had stopped talking to a friend for several months, but finally I reached out and we talked. I am proud of myself for explaining to this person that they had treated me poorly. Awesome. This is good. This is That's growth. And I think it's growth for both included, because someone was learning from you something through your explanation that they were treating you poorly. What they do with that, I hope that they sit with that and learn from that and expand. So this is wonderful. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, I think all of us have that also. I mean, I have some. I stopped talking to some people, but I was doing it out of my own protection. Um, and Yeah, I can use your technique. But you have to be in a good place um, to be able to do that. I appreciate you um, sharing that, Crazy Horse's daughter. Taking care of a task that I thought I couldn't do by asking someone to help me. Yes, but I was able to get it done all by myself. Awesome. Grateful and proud of myself. Very good. Very good. Isn't that something with that doesn't that tickle you? It makes you feel good about you that you can do that. Yeah. A lot of us are hesitant because we think that we're going to do something wrong. We're going to mess something up. There's no recourse. If I do it, it's just going to just ruin everything. We have doubts in our capabilities. And then when you do something, yes. Yeah, there was something I had to do also where I needed confirmation. I needed understanding. I was I was fussing about it because I thought it was an infringement. And it was all of that energy. And it was the simplest thing to do. And I did it. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Marva. Taking care of a task. It was a task that I thought I couldn't do by asking someone to help me, but I was able to get it done all by myself, grateful and proud of myself. This is great. And the more we do these things, we learn about ourselves, and then we learn that we can do some things by ourselves. I I can remember a time where Um, I'm not, well, maybe I'll share. Someone close to me stopped doing and caring for themselves in that way by saying that they could not do it. They couldn't do it. And they kept on saying they could not do it. Can't do this, can't do that. I can't do anything. I can't do it. And because they kept on saying, I can't do it, they had to always rely on others. And it diminishes you. It diminishes your thinking, it diminishes who you are, and there's no growth. There's no growth, and you stay stuck. Um, so thank you, Marva, and congratulations. Congratulations on doing it yourself. So Crazy Horses says, in the past, I would just never speak to them again. I get that. I get that. Um, yeah, I have a whole story about that, and basically, it comes from a place of um, trust. In my case, so I totally understand Crazy Horse. Thank you for sharing that. Time management. I have a family member that just passed away 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks after her 58th birthday. I'm so sorry to hear that. Condolences to you. And her 21-year-old daughter allowed both my mom and I to be there for her. And she is now going to grief counseling. That's awesome. I have a family member that just passed away 2 weeks after her 58th birthday. And her 21-year-old daughter allowed both my mom and I to be there for her. And she is now going to grief counseling. Very good. Wow. Yes, this is the transverse, you're right. This young woman is having to deal with the past and now the future. She's transversing through the timeline of grief, and it's going to grief counseling. And we talk about grief here in different ways. And it's great that she has you, time management, to um, to help her through this period, because it's a time to celebrate the joys of which um, she shared with her mother. But at the same time, she is also experiencing the loss. Some people deal with grief differently, or some people don't deal with it at all and just keep moving and stuffing it up. But I'm glad that she has you, and is going to grief counseling. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Um, Catherine, I volunteer on Mondays. Okay, the therapy horses are a joy. Okay, they're therapy horses that she whispers to and talks to and brushes and takes care of them, takes care of and checks on their moods. I also, from what I understand, I had a great experience with Catherine in which we went to sound bowl healing for the horses, and to see their reaction to sound, those waves, those good vibes were interesting. So interesting. It's amazing to experience that. As Catherine knows that I have a fear of horses, but to see this little tiny woman standing next to this large animal was amazing for me to watch, but also to see them experiencing the sounds and the waves of of, you know, different sounds. It was truly amazing. So thanks, Catherine, for sharing that. And Pie Management says this week has been a challenge, but it made me feel honored that she trusted me with her heart in this moment after losing her mom, and that I could actually be there for her. Yes. It's great when people are vulnerable and um, you can allow them to share their vulnerability with you if you are up to that. And that's great that you can be there for her. Yes. And sending blessings, peace and love to your family members. Yes. Um, Marva, thank you. I'm learning to have the confidence in myself that I need to not be afraid to do things, even if I fail, giving it a try. Right, is what's important. Absolutely. Yes, giving it a try, just trying. It's not the leap, it's the move. It's just it's a small movement to where you want to be. Just a small movement. And every time I put up like this fence, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do it because it's going to take time. I'm not interested in it. It's not going to but just taking a step toward the thing, figuring it out. I'm figuring out a lot of things where I feel that there haven't been rules or there's not a customary way into doing things. And this is happening with my writing, um, that I just have to do it anyway because I would have done it, right? Um, I belong to a group of BIPOC women who write, who want to have their writing published. And we were blessed with having the author Marita Golden come in and speak with the group. Something she said was so interesting and so good. This had to do with a question someone asked her about, not finding the time, not doing, having the ability to finish writing, and all the reasons why she could not get this novel done, and it's taking on a different form, and she has to redo this, and Marita Golden said, well, you need to write that book. If you can't write the novel that you want to write. This was so good. And we all laughed because a lot of us talk about the things that we want to do and then we don't do them, but we could, in that time, do them or do something else, right? So she was talking about this novel that she's been wanting to write. She's been wanting to finish it for the last 10 years. And, now that she thinks she has the time, her daughter has gone off to college, she's working less hours. You know, but she just, can't seem to get it done. And she says, write that book. Write the book about you not being able to finish the book that you want to write. That says that all of that stuff that you just said. And it just, everybody's like light bulb went off. So we could say, I don't want to do this. I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. This is bogus. This is, an infringement. This is manipulation. This is all the stuff. And all of that energy keeps us behind this wall And we are saying all the things that we cannot do instead of all the things that we can do, and affirming ourselves to do it. I can do this. I can I can complete this memoir that I've been writing through journals for since what 2012, but then just decided that I would write a memoir about it in 2015, right? And I can continue this. I can continue writing this until it's done. I can publish this. I can publish excerpts from this. I can do this. I can move abroad because I've done this. I can travel because I can do this. I can, or I, or it's up to you. It's a choice. It's a choice. I appreciate you for sharing that, Marva. Yes, it's confidence. It takes confidence. And where you find it is up to you. How you find it is up to you. But I'm going to tell you that it takes movement to build. It's like blocks to build confidence over time. And it doesn't have to be right away, it could be over time, but just keep moving it. Marva said it. I'm learning to have confidence in myself. And it might be a learning process for you, but it's also sometimes it's the brain that tells us things, that monkey mind comes in, and we absorb, we're listening to that brain. We're listening to that inner, that I'm gonna say, like Wizard of Oz, we're listening to the Oz who is causing some issues for us, right? Sometimes it's confused, right? It's got so much in it. It's got a lot going on, all these bells and whistles, but if we listen to our bodies and start taking the action, we can remember the movement of that action to get to the next place. Oh, this feels like confidence. Oh, that feels good. Oh, this feels like a breath of fresh air. Oh, I like that, how that feels. Oh, one more movement. Oh, I love to see what this feeling does to me, right? So sometimes we have to just be still, allow the mind to settle down, taking in this breath that's going to cleanse, right? We talked about this just a moment ago. Cleanse this nervous system, right? And we know what that feels like. It has nothing to do with this up here, it has to do with everything down here. So when people talk about body movement, right? The somatics, the body, the study of the body, it's a big thing. It's not, we're not saying cut off the head. You can't do that, right? Can't do that. We need all of us, the wholeness of us to be whole, right? but but to allow us to move, we have to feel it. It's an action. The one step, right? If Pat and Jeff, as my mother would call them, our feet. If it's our feet, if it's walking, if we can walk, we are blessed. If we can move through some other device, we are blessed. If we can move our shoulders, raise our shoulders and move them back to relieve the stress from our aching back. That's movement, and we know how it feels. We know how it feels to suffer. If we were to constrict our whole body, right? We constrict them, right? But then if we release it, oh, it feels so good. But we know both feelings. We know the constriction and we know the release. And we know what both of them mean to us. Yes. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And Pie Management, you're welcome. I'm thankful and grateful for this community. I am too. Yes, Marva Van Dyke, your comment reminds me of the saying, nothing beats a failure but a try. Yes, nothing beats a failure but a try. That's beautiful. I'm often saying this to myself. Yes, because you know what? There are no failures, there are lessons that we learn for these things that we call failures. And failure is so final, right? Failure seems like it's final. But if you keep trying, right? It's the lesson in that when you haven't been able to do the thing, and you learn what can I do to get there. You can try. You can you can write that book. You can write that novel. You can take that trip. You can, you know, you can meet someone new. You can have a relationship. You can say, I'm sorry. You can, right? Or you can hold hold with confidence your boundaries, right? And know how that feels. That took some measure, that took some confidence, right? All of that. All of that. Yes. Absolutely. Yes, Marva. Thank you, Elle. Thank you, Elle, for sharing that. It's awesome. So it's been good. It's been a good day with you all. And I'm excited that we were able to discuss a lot of different things today, but mostly how we were moving, how we are doing, right? Why are we proud of ourselves, right? We had the two questions about basically what did we learn about ourselves, right? What inspired us? Reflecting on growing and expanding. Every day, we should find those growth moments, or every week, be able to have an opportunity to affirm ourselves, but affirm ourselves for our growth and our expansion. It's very important that we do, and not judge ourselves so quickly, not judge, but allow yourself to say, you know what, I need to I need to make a change. I need to make a change for myself and possibly help somebody else. Or I need to make a change so that others can learn from me, right? So continue growing up. We're we're grown agers at this point. If you're 50 and older, you're a grown ager. That's what I call us, especially if we're out here having lots of fun and enjoying our lives, like teenagers do, right? Teenagers love to have fun. Sometimes they have to be curtailed a little bit, But see, because we're mature, we can curtail ourselves. At least I hope we can. I think we can. So um, I want to share with you that our next Journal with Me salon and workshop is scheduled. Getting ready to send out a note. Is scheduled for April 27th at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's the Journal with Me salon and workshop. It's a continuation of our theme on boundaries or barriers, um, for protection, for protection. Okay. And we'll be talking about codependency, kind of a subgroup of the boundaries that we started last month. So April 27th, Sunday, April 27th at at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll meet and discuss, and I will be sending out information about that. And on next Tuesday, I'll have the link that I'll put in the description. I didn't complete all of that yet. And so I'll do that. But I look forward to sharing space with you in person, and would like to hear from you, um, whether that be on this topic or some other topic in our salon, where we get together in community and are able to see one another and spend time with one another, journaling, doing a little meditation, and then talking about a particular topic. Okay. So until we meet again, yeah, let's see. I'm going to check and see if there's anything here. Elle says, you are very welcome. Thank you for your comment. It reminded me that there are many things that I need to overcome, and fear being at the top of the list. Sending love to you and yours. Yeah, yeah, that's great. Thank you. Thank you all for helping other people in the community, being here to share your experiences, and that is really you are teaching as well. You are teaching others and expanding your world by giving to others. It's like community service. It's a great thing. So continue to do that, and I appreciate you all. I look forward to spending more time with you on next Tuesday, where we'll meet again to discuss wellness and healing, growing up, growing up at 50 and older, and loving ourselves and learning to love others. Right? Um, yeah, yeah. I'm happy for it. Glad to be here with you all, and look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you all for coming. Sending much love to you. Have a great weekend. Create a great day.